Josh, it's a pleasure to be here. Thank you.
My pleasure. Now, Tom, please tell the listening audience, what exactly is scalar energy and what does it do for us?
Sure. Scalar energy is sunlight or starlight. There's two energies in the universe. Most people recognize electricity and magnetism as the electromagnetic spectrum. That's true. But there's another energy, which is scalar energy, that we've not really firmly understood. I work with scalar energy because it's much more versatile and it offers greater promise than that of electricity.
Alrighty. Now, this is a subject that I really do not understand. Yeah. How did you come upon this work?
Nikola Tesla was the driving force. Many of you recognize that name. Nikola Tesla was a great inventor. Tesla was working with scalar energy, or what he called radiant energy, during his day. And in some way, I want to continue on with his work. I believe that scalar energy has greater promise than that of electricity. So what we see today with the electrical grid, our modern-day inventions, can be enhanced, improved immeasurably with this new energy that we will embrace someday, scalar energy.
Alrighty. Now, I watched a number of your videos, and in one, you took light bulbs and passed them over to scalar energy box, and the bulbs, which were not plugged in, became illuminated.
Correct.
How does that work?
Yes. What you're referring to is the ability of scalar energy, scalar light, to fill an environment. So when I turn on a scalar light instrument, the immediate local environment is energized, if you will, with scalar energy. And when I introduce a fluorescent tube into that force field, it illuminates. So what I'm working with, again, is radiant energy or scalar energy. It is omnipresent, but my instrument can control and enhance that energy to the point that I can illuminate a light bulb that I hold in my hand, provided that light bulb is in the vicinity of my scalar light instrument.
Okay, so that was really kind of a fun thing to see. But how does that apply to healing the body?
Sure. How do we apply that to healing the body? So with scalar energy, we can do things that you cannot accomplish with electricity. So I have devised scalar light instruments that work with people remotely by way of their photograph. And I'm able to balance the 7 chakras with a scalar light instrument, or I can even break apart a virus or a bacterium with a scalar light instrument. Now, this is peculiar. This is specific to scalar energy. You cannot readily achieve that with an electrical instrument.
All right. And so you say that if someone gives you a photograph of themselves or of a protozoa, you can actually, for example, you mentioned in one of your videos, there was a woman from Africa who had HIV for 20 years, and you were able to get rid of that.
Correct.
Yes, how?
Correct. So let me elaborate. Mm-hmm. People from around the world will send me a photograph. All I need is a photograph of their skin. And in so doing, I place that photograph of that person inside the instrument. Then the instrument will send a signal to that person, much like a satellite would send a signal. And the signal that I can send into the human body is for viruses and bacteria to break apart. We simply negate the molecular bonds of viruses and bacteria. So in this case, what you're referring to, a woman from Africa submitted her photograph to me. I sent her energy, scalar energy, and in so doing, we broke apart the HIV virus. It's been eradicated from her body.
Wow. Okay, so that seems pretty important. And so the process for that you developed, and what is the process?
It's called a scalar light instrument, and it's very simple and straightforward, but quite profound. Scalar energy is a universal energy, so we can tap into that energy, and we can send that energy to any person or object in the world. All we need is a photograph to identify that person and send that person energy. Wow.
So as a young guy, you were just interested in science, is that it? And this was interesting to you?
That was correct. I was fascinated with what Nikola Tesla was doing. To this day, Tesla's accomplishments have not been matched. And I think that the reason behind that is nobody has developed scalar energy instruments. Tesla was using scalar energy, and And his great inventions, if you will, in the latter part of his life were, I think, almost exclusively scalar light instruments.
Wow. And so now how do the listeners of Here's to Your Health work with this scalar energy? How do they contact you? What's the procedure?
Sure, it's very simple. Our website is scalarlight.com. That's spelled S-C-A-L-A-R, scalarlight.com. Visit the website. At the very top of the website is a red banner. It says free trials. Avail yourself to those free trials. You can submit a photograph of yourself or even your family members. And we will work with you. We will send a session for 15 days for free, no questions asked. We do that to prove to you that your health will improve and that we can indeed eradicate germs from your body.
Wow. And so I know you mentioned that things like skin issues, you're very helpful there. Is that right?
Exactly. We work with many people who have rashes or bacterial infection, and we're able to destroy the bacteria that causes those skin infections, and people usually return to health.
It's Tom. We're chatting with Tom Paladino, who is the inventor. I'll use that word, the developer of scalar energy. This is really beyond my capacity. I'm a food guy. I understand the value of food, of exercise, cleaner environment. But this type of machinery, energy, is something really I've never really investigated. And roughly what years did you start working with healing people? When was it? Was it 25 or 30 years ago?
It was in 1993. Mm-hmm. I started working with scalar instruments, and I had great success in those early years, and I knew I was onto something. I knew that this would serve to change the course of medical history. And I would affirm to that belief that once we incorporate scalar light, we will be able to eradicate pathogenic disease. Consider what I'm saying. Mm-hmm. It's a simple, painless process. Working with scalar light, we can address all types of pathogenic disease.
Now, Tom, is it better if a patient was at your office, or can it be done equally successfully remotely?
It can be done. It can be accomplished equally successfully remotely. Exactly.
Well, that's actually very, very impressive. I don't really quite understand the concepts, but you seem to have a good success rate. People seem happy with it. I've chatted to a couple of people who knew of your work successfully, and things like, for example, fungal infections. You feel that if someone just sends you a photograph of their skin, that you can help them with these issues?
Yes, exactly. Our current ability is we're able to destroy over 400,000 species of pathogens. So consider what I'm saying. A scalar light instrument can break down the molecular bonds of germs, microbes, and you are then, that eradication of that microbe will serve to return you to health. It's the simple, painless way to address pathogenic disease.
Wow, it's very impressive. Tom, are you working with any particular organizations who suggest your work to people? I mean, have people...
Sadly, no, Josh. No. Sadly, no. And my point is that I would like to work with organizations around the world, but nobody has reached out to me yet. Nobody has really embraced this concept. It's not that I'm hiding. I have a public website, so hopefully I would see a groundswell of support in the future.
But you are seeing people contact you on a regular basis who are happy.
Oh, yes. People, it's the mom and pops of the world, so to speak, that are very happy, and their health is being restored. And that's what is most important, the restoration of health.
And Tom, would you say that a potential problem with the scalar energy technology that you developed is that it's rather inexpensive?
It is inexpensive.
Right.
With this application, just consider one scalar light instrument could easily administer energy to 1 million people a day. How so? By simply providing me 1 million photographs a day. You do not have to visit a clinic. We can send energy anywhere in the world to improve your health. So this is the new paradigm that we're looking at. It's much more efficient.
It does sound very impressive. Again, I don't have to understand every topic that is on my show. I just have to feel that it has merit, because one thing I've learned is, many years ago, the whole idea if you didn't drink soda, that it was better not to drink soda, people said, oh, that's ridiculous. And now, of course, people don't drink soda the way they did, and of course, people don't smoke cigarettes the way they did, and so things really do change. Also, let me mention, when I was a boy, it was very popular among physicians to take out your tonsils and the appendix, and that was considered good health care. And now, of course, it's not really done anymore because they realized it wasn't good health care. It was simply the medical guys were making money, but it wasn't really good health care. So I'm always open to new ideas and new technologies. Our guest is Tom Paladino. Tom, please give us your contact information so that the listeners of Here's to Your Health can call you and visit your websites.
Sure. Visit the website at scalarlight.com. And if you want to call our phone number, area code 805-364-3051.
Tom, please give us that information just again.
Sure. It is website scalarlight.com. Our phone number, 805-364-3051.